This week we have been seeing a lot of low back pain. And low back pain comes down to a certain simple things that Maria and I teach that can get you out of back pain, but yet people don't access in their own lives because they think it's more complicated. That's sort of how this class got started in the first place, is how to get someone out of back pain. And really, I'm going to break it down into probably the most fundamental ways you can take care of your back. And it's going to be easier than you think. And for those who have been taking this class, it's not going to be terribly difficult compared to what we normally do, but this is really the basics of what you need in order to take care of your back. And we're going to make this video, Mario will come in later, but we're going to make this video mainly to just show people what we show our clients. And if you could just learn this and do this, you could avoid the whole step of having to work with us. But we like working with you. We could show you more interesting things. But this is going to be a very basic class where we look at what it takes to take care of your back. Okay? So that's where we begin. And the first part of taking care of your back is knowing what feet parallel is. That's why we start every class with this almost boring ad nauseum piece of what feet parallel is, because if you can, you're balancing force across your feet. That is why we start with our feet parallel. So we're going to start. This is your ASIS, this is your pubic symphysis. Midway in between is hips width apart. And that's how far your feet are going to be apart. Now get your feet parallel, and it's based on your second toe. So get that second toe parallel. It becomes interesting if you have bunions, because if you have bunions, you may have to bring your feet in a little further, but we're going to keep those feet very parallel. Abs are nice and tight. You're going to bend your knees and externally rotate your legs. Then we push down the toe and the first metatarsal head, outer four toes and the corresponding metatarsal heads, and especially that pinky toe, and finally your heel. That makes the whole tripod of the foot, and this gives the anchoring in the stance. Now, 1/3 the weight goes through the balls of your feet, 1/3 the weight goes through your toes, 1/3 the weight goes through your heels. That means 66% of the weight is forward. You're gonna almost straighten out your legs. You're gonna have a micro bend on them. Fire up your quads, but relax your butt. And that's where we turn on first chakra. That's your pelvic floor. Second chakra, your lower abs. Third chakra, your upper abs. Draw your shoulder blades down and back, and then get your head over the top of your body. So this is the first part of what we teach people, is how to stand up straight. Notice what Maria is doing. Her shoulders are drawn down and back. Her head's over the top of her hips, and her hips are over the tops of her feet. This is what it takes to create balance, because imbalance, so we'll have Maria and I will also slouch. You can see how that changes the balance of the body and puts pressure in the low back as the butt starts clenching, abs shut off, and the head goes anterior. This serves nobody except to create low back pain. So we're going to come out of it. And ironically, the first thing you feel coming out of this is soreness in the body, because muscles have to turn back on. So in this position, I want you to turn on that abs, turn on that first, second, third chakra. We're going to just see what that feels like as we stand up straight. Suck in our tummies and then tighten our abs. It is that simple. Keep breathing. Keep your jaw relaxed. This will be a very simple class for those who have done classes with us before, because this will be the minimum that you have to do. First part is going to be your calf. We're going to stretch out the calf muscle. Very important. Your feet are parallel, abs are nice and tight, shoulder blades are down and back. We're going to do what we just did standing on flat level ground, except the block is under our left foot, under the ball of our left foot, our heel is down, our knees are running parallel, our abs are nice and tight. We're going to push our hips forward, and as you do, your butt stays relaxed. You're doing this with your abs. Draw your tummy in, your shoulder blades stay down and back, your shoulders are down and back, is what I meant to say. Suck in that tummy. And we're lengthening out a muscle called the gastrocnemius. Keep your abs engaged, just see how things feel. If you feel pressure in your low back, it means somehow your abs have shut off. We need your abs to shut back, or turn back on, our quads to turn back on, and relax the butt. Okay. That's it. We're gonna switch sides. I told you it's gonna be easy. Okay. Block goes under the ball of your left foot, abs are nice and tight. The chest is up, sucking your tummy. You're gonna pump your hips forward.
Make sure your feet are parallel.
Keep
Next to each other.
abs are engaged, shoulder blades are down and back. The reason she brought that up is it's easy to turn out and then we're gonna get different parts of our calf muscle and we don't want that. Notice if one side's tighter than the other, we call that imbalance and that leads to low back pain. Suck into that tummy. Keep breathing. Okay, good. That was your calves. Now we're gonna stretch out your quads. You're gonna come onto one knee, that's your left knee. Your right foot goes forward. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking your tummy. We're gonna start out with just basically hip circles. We do hip circles because every athletic motion is hidden in a hip circle, and if you can do a hip circle cleanly, you are moving from the center of your body, and you'll be, thank you. Make sure that knee stays over the top of your foot. We're doing hip motion, not knee motion, especially lateral to medial knee motion. We don't like that. Okay, staying forward, we're gonna lean forward now. Abs are nice and tight. We're just gonna go side to side. Really, really, really basic.
Make sure you keep your abs engaged. Pelvic floor lifted.
Okay, then reach back with your right hand, grab your left foot. You're gonna pull your heel to your butt. This is where we stretch out the rectus femoris. Abs are nice and tight. If you feel pressure in your low back, it means your abs have shut off. So keep your abs engaged. Stretch. Now lean forward even more. Abs are nice and tight. This is the second muscle responsible for low back pain, so that we gotta lengthen it, otherwise you're gonna have low back pain. Suck in your tummies, abs engaged. Good. And we're actually gonna stop there to switch sides. We're keeping it basic. Left foot forward, abs engaged, chest open, head over the top of the block, and you're gonna do hip circles. Keep the head over top of the block, that means your core is staying on. If your head wobbles, it means your core is shut off. That explains falling. Make sure your circles are nice and clean. And you're breathing. Okay. We're gonna stretch forward. We're gonna go side to side. Abs are engaged, suck in that tummy. Don't let things hang out. Okay, now you're gonna take your, what is this? Left hand, grab your right foot. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna stretch forward. You're looking for lengthening of that rectus femoris as we now lean forward as well. Pull your heel to your butt.
Abs engaged.
Very important. No pressure in your low back. No pressure in your knee. We're working muscles and not joints. Suck in that tummy. Good. Just release. And we're going to stand back up. We're going to see how things feel before we get to the third muscle that we're going to stretch to take care of the low back. But just notice how things are starting to feel. You should feel taller and you should feel floatier. Your heels should be anchored to the ground, the weight more forward in your feet. Okay? Now we're going to get the third muscle group, which is your glute max. You're going to cross your left ankle over your right knee. And then you're going to squat into it. You can take your hand, pull that knee in further if you need to, if you feel like it's sliding off. Your butt will go out, your chest stays up. We're putting pressure not into the low back. We are stretching our butt. You should feel your butt muscles working, maybe your quads. Abs are engaged. We're stretching muscles and not joints.
So we really try to sink into that left hip. Feel the stretch.
We're gonna hang out here a little bit longer because this is what gets tight. In terms of body language, a clenched butt is fear or submission. And by sitting and tucking our tail, we go into submission accidentally and our body responds to it, rounding our spine. And then we have back problems. Smiles are up. Abs are engaged. We'll go 20. Okay. Stand up nice and tall. First, push your hips forward again. Make sure you didn't accidentally load your back. And then we're going to do the other side. Stretch. Notice what this side feels like. Is it tighter or looser than the other side? These are major muscle groups. So if one side feels tighter than the other, you have a huge imbalance that leads to pain because these are too powerful of muscles to have be imbalanced. Sucking your tummy lower down, chest is up.
Sink into that right core. You wanted 20
Yeah, it seems longer on this side.
because you're not taking.
Because I feel a stretch. Okay, go ahead, put those feet back down. Remount your hips. You're gonna go over the top of your hips. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in that tummy. Shoulder blades are down and back. Feel how different your low back feels. If you could do what we just did 3 times a day for a week, your back would feel amazing. Okay, now we're gonna go on to the next thing you do to take care of your back. You're gonna take your right foot forward, left foot back. You have to learn these. We're gonna go over these very simplistically, but because you guys have done this, I want you to do this in great detail. Knee is over the top of your foot. Your abs are engaged. That rear leg is straight back behind you. And that quad in the rear leg is straightening and pushing back. Suck in your tummy. Straight spine. We're working muscles and not joints. So you should feel this in your glute max, you should feel this in your quad, you should feel this in your abs, and you should feel this in your lats and your paraspinals. Okay? Now, we're gonna do sit-ups here. You're gonna suck in your tummy, tighten your abs, then release. Tighten your abs and release. Tighten your abs, release. Not very exciting. How many is that? Okay, on this next piece, it's so important. You keep your spine straight. You're hinging from your hip. Your butt should be working. If you feel excessive pressure in your back, it means you need to tighten your abs, push your rear leg back, push your hips back in general, keep your shoulder blades down and back.
So really try to engage like there's a huge board behind you and you're using everything on the back side of your body from your heel to the top of your head, pressing back into that board.
Okay, now we're gonna hinge forward and touch the ground. Touch, straight spine, and come back. We're gonna do this slowly, holding alignment, holding your core on, time under tension. You're using muscles and not joints.
As you lean forward, try to really squeeze that right glute.
You should feel pressure and work in your right butt cheek and your right quad, not in your calf, not in your back, not in your neck or shoulders.
As you come up, press the whole back of your body against that board behind you.
Should be 9. I knew it. 9. And 10. Come back up first. See if you accidentally loaded your back. Your butt should be sore, not your back. If it was your back, it means you didn't tighten, stabilize your core. Here, we're gonna hold the abs nice and tight. We're just gonna do a basic hip circle. Since you guys know how to do this, do it perfectly. Opposite direction. Abs are engaged. Try not to move your head. This is hip motion, not head motion. Okay, switch sides. You're gonna take your right leg back behind you. Left leg is bent, left knee is over top of your foot. Your abs are engaged. Push your hips back, spine is straight.
Feel that board behind your back again. Really press every part of your back from the top of your head to your heel up against that board.
And now we're gonna do our sit-ups. Tighten your abs and release. Tighten your abs, release. Feel what it feels like to engage your abs. Oops.
Try and see if you can actually balance and lift your hands off the roller and press the back side of your arms up against that board.
Yeah, like you're holding a board up. Feel what it feels like. Ooh. Hold that balance. Okay, now we touch the ground. No pressure into your low back. You're using your butt. If you feel pressure in your low back, tighten your abs. Hold the balance. Time under tension. Woo, keep that balance going on. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy. No pressure in your back. If you do feel it, push your hips back, tighten your abs. Straighten your spine. Keep those shoulder blades down and back. Put the work where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be in your butt. What number is that? I knew it. Okay. Come back to standing. Remount your hips. See if you put the work in your butt like you were supposed to and not in your low back. Hip circles. So that would be a basic program of what you would do to take care of your body to maintain the strength and flexibility you need to never have low back pain. This is what we give to our clients. It's a simple process, and if you were to do it every day for a week, you would have no low back pain. Okay. So what we've gone over are the minimum to take care of your low back. If you do it for 1 week, you're gonna notice major changes in your experience of back pain or what you think is back pain, because what most of back pain is a muscular imbalance. But what would be really amazing is that you continued this on for at least 3 weeks. Because if you could do that, you would gain strength and flexibility, and you would have a different experience with low back, and you could see how much of life was under your control, but it means you having to do it.